Well, we saw weekly unemployment benefits expire last week, and unfortunately, Congress is still deadlocked. Well, how much longer will Americans wait? Let's bring in our company to discuss. With us today is former Special Assistant to President Trump, Kelly Sadler, and National Affairs columnist for the National Review and Newsmax contributor, John Fund. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
All right, well, we saw Mitch McConnell say that he's prepared to support a coronavirus stimulus bill that includes $600 unemployment check. I know that's been the big controversy. John, are we going to see a deal get done?
Well, it seems as if the Democrats have everyone over a barrel. They put this provision, the $600 a week unemployment supplement, in March, promising it would end in July 31st. And here we are, and I realize people are hurting, but this provision could be handled in different ways rather than through the unemployment system. I think that you could help parents out with educational expenses and other things. Having said that, I'm afraid the Democrats are not willing to deal. They've gotten 4 different proposals from the White House and from Congress. They're saying no to everything. And clearly it's political. And fortunately, this will keep some people away from work, which will mean unemployment will continue to be high. And of course, the economy will be weaker. Perhaps that's what the Democrats want in November.
I sure hope not. I think that people can't wait much longer for this. So it's really unfortunate that Kelly, what do you think? Is a deal going to happen?
Well, I mean, we've been told they both come to a compromise, hoping that something will happen by Friday of this week. We'll see. Nancy Pelosi doesn't seem to be budging on the $600 for federal unemployment benefits. I've heard there's reports out that the administration has gone up to $400 when they wanted it to be $200, so they're trying to meet them in the middle. But with the $600 unemployment benefits, the University of Chicago did a study on this. That means that 2/3 of people that have these federal unemployment benefits are earning more money on unemployment than they were on their job. And this is definitely a disincentive to go back to work. So I would urge the White House and the Republicans in the Senate to stay strong on this issue and do not cave to the $600.
Hey, John, here's the thing. One thing to get a deal, it's another thing to pass it. I have a feeling that if Pelosi strikes a deal, it'll pass the House. Do you think it passes the Senate?
Well, there the Democrats have other demands, and that's the real sticking point. They have everything from a bailout of state and local governments to changes in election law and a whole range of other things. My fear is once they agree to the $600 a week, meaning the White House and Mitch McConnell, the Democrats will say, fine, here's what else we want. I think the Democrats are in the position of they really don't want a deal, and whatever you agree to, they'll demand more.
Kelly, speaking of what John's saying, want more. I read a report today that they're actually talking about giving stimulus checks to people who have died. Now, I think we're starting to get to a point where the ridiculous, it's not about helping people. It's about figuring out what else can I get out of this process. And I think that we've gone from helping to just figuring out how much free stuff we can get for the left.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, in Nancy Pelosi's bill, in the HEROES Act, they want to give states millions of dollars to go into mail-in voting. And we know the controversy surrounding that has nothing really to do with coronavirus. We know that the White House and the Senate Republicans didn't want to give any state and local funding out because there's still billions of dollars left from the last, $3 trillion stimulus that was passed that has gone unspent. So it seems to me like the most logical thing to do is make sure that the first stimulus has been allocated and that the monies have been spent in that before you sign off on a $3.4 trillion another bill.
John, Trump has actually said that he's examining if he will actually do an eviction order, executive order on a new deal if Democrats can't come to consensus here. Do you think that's a good or bad strategy?
The president should do 2 things. I think that he should issue an executive order on evictions. He also should issue an executive order which builds on what President Obama did during the last economic downturn we had and give everyone a payroll tax cut. Nancy Pelosi supported it back then. She said it wouldn't affect the Social Security trust funds because the economy would bounce back. So the president can do that unilaterally. He can simply say, I'm not going to collect all of the payroll tax. And rather than give people $600 a week in unemployment, much of that an incentive to stay home, as Ms. Sadler said, let's give it to people in the form of a payroll tax cut, and businesses will be interested in hiring people because their cost of hiring will be lower.
Kelly, do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that. Unfortunately, it seems to be, dead on arrival. The payroll tax cut, the White House has already conceded it. We're just going to have to see how far Republicans, how much more they're willing to give, because it looks like Democrats are not compromising. Listen, the Republicans want a $1 trillion stimulus bill. The Democrats want $3.4 trillion, and we still don't know how they're going to meet in the middle.
Yeah,
I can't believe we're having a discussion over how many trillions to spend. I mean, I remember just a cycle ago when we were going after Obama for doubling the national debt from 10 trillion to 20 trillion. And now we're having debates over how many trillions the next stimulus will be. It's unbelievable how far we've come.
Yeah, it is. Well, hopefully we can come to a consensus soon, because I know a lot of small businesses really need help. John, Kelly, thanks so much for your insights.
Thank you.
All right, well, up next, Duck Dynasty's own Phil Robertson is here. Don't go away.